4.3, page 58, 59 and 60. This probably take 2 little vids to be done. Using ratios and proportions, again unit 1 and unit 2 is all revisited here, but we've got a machine. So what I'm going to do is jump straight into question 3. It says here James is making fruit juice using fruit cordial, that's like the concentrated stuff, and water. So it's putting water in the cordial, mixing it up, and that's fruit juice. The label on the cordial says to make 1 litre of fruit juice, use, this is where I start kicking in, use 200 ml of the cordial, that's the concentrated juice, and you've got to use 800 millilitres of water. Did I say 800 for? Anyway, 200 ml cordial to 800 ml of water. Is that alright? Now, James uses 250 ml of cordial, and he uses that to 850 of water. And the question is James using the correct proportions? Well, great way to do it. As you can see, if I say 200 over 800, we can see what fraction the cordial is compared to the water. As you can see, that's a quarter of it. In other words, 0.25. Now, if I apply the same logic here, is 250 divided by 850 also 0.25? But let's get rid of the zeros, although it's not necessary because I've got my Casio waiting to help me. So 25 divided by 85 is going to be nothing like, look at this, 0.29. Therefore, wrong proportions. He's using too much cordial for the amount of water. Look, 0.29 as opposed to only 0.25. It would taste a little sweeter than it should, but never mind. I'll explain my answer. Let me do question 4. A builder makes mortar by mixing cement and sand in the ratio of 1 to 5. So let's just write it here. So cement to sand. Now mortar is what you put on bricks to stick them together to make a wall or something. So that's mortar. So cement to sand, 1 lot to 5 lot. That's the proportions. How many buckets of sand does he need to mix 3 buckets of cement? Well, essentially, this is the question. How do you get from 1 to 3 times by 3? So therefore you multiply the 5-part ratio by 3, and therefore I need 15 buckets of sand to match the 3 buckets of cement. Next part, again, let's call it C and S. How many buckets of cement does he need to mix 10 buckets of sand? So 10 buckets of sand. So to get to 10 buckets of sand, I go 10. How do you get from 5 to 10? Multiply by 2. So 1 times 2 will be 2. So I need 2 buckets of cement to go with that one. And here's the last one involving cement and sand. It says, how many buckets of cement and sand does he need to make 30 buckets of mortar? Alright, so here we go. I've got 30 buckets. I need to divide that by 6 portions, because 1 plus 5 is 6, and that gives me 5 parts. Is that alright? Now, therefore, cement is going to be 1 times 5, which is 5 buckets. And the sand is going to be 5 times the 5 parts, which is therefore 25 buckets. And as you can see, we got it right, because 25 and 5 makes 30 buckets of the ready mixed mortar. Buckets, anyway, just shorthand there. So anyway, the answer is 30, because it's 5 of cement, 5 buckets of cement and 25 buckets of sand to make 30 of the mortar mixed together. That's that. I won't do the cookies. I'll do question 7. It's one of these lovely Best Buy things. It says here, a shop sells multi-packs of batteries. A packet of 20 cost £4.95, and a packet of 32 I mean, this story could be about anything. Cost £6.28. Question: which pack gives the best value for money? Well, let's find the cost of just one item, shall we? So we're going to take our £4.95 and divide that by 20, and we're going to take out £6.28 and divide that by 32. We get the cost per battery. Now we have to assume it's the same battery. Is it? Sells multi-pack. We have to assume they're the same battery, otherwise it wouldn't be a fair calculation. So 4.95, divide that by 20. Each battery comes to 0.2475, but of course that's pounds. In other words, 24.75 pence each battery. Now for calculation purposes, it's okay to call it 24.75 pence each rather than rounding up to 25 pence, because the difference can be so slight. We're trying to look at these decimal places in case they're needed to give us a final clear answer as to which package gives us a cheaper price overall. So we'll do the same with this one. We've got 6.28 divided by 32 batteries, and that costs 0.19625 pounds, because I'm dividing pounds by the amount of batteries, and that will give me 19.63 pence each, and therefore it's cheaper to buy 32 rather than the 20. Therefore 32 at £6.28 is a better buy. Alright, it's cheaper per battery, and that's how you do best buys. Question 9 is about euros, and anyway, let's do question 8. I like question 8. Right, Nina is paid £87.50 for 14 hours of work. Right, that's her story. How much does she get paid for 20 hours of work? Well, let's find out what 1 hour is worth first to find her hourly rate. It's also a unitary method. So you're going to go £87.50 divided by 14. Let's find out what her hourly rate is. 87.5, divide that by 14 hours, gives me £6.25 per hour. Next one, she's paid £100. How many hours has she worked? Alright, so I'm going to take her £100, divide that by 6.25, and see how many 6.25s go into the 100, and that should give me some hours. So £100, divide that by 6.25, gives me 16 hours. Not 16 pounds, 16 hours of work. And the last part says, what assumption did you have to make to answer these questions? Well, look, you have to assume it's the same hourly rate. Assume Nina is paid at the same hourly rate. Is that alright? So you've got to assume she's getting paid the same amount. So if she, for example, works 200 hours, if she gets, say, 200 pounds, you have to assume she's going to get paid £6.25 per hour. She may have, of course, have gone into overtime, in which case she may get paid, say, £8 an hour if she has to work unsociable hours or Saturdays or Sunday afternoons or something like that. So there's no indication from the question that is the case. So the best I can do is to assume that she gets paid at the same hourly rate. That's Nina done. Don't need to do it anymore. I think I'll look at question 12, and I might stop the video, look at some of the really complicated ones. So question 12, here we go. The ratio of men to women, okay, M to W's, is 3 lots to 5 lots. So for every 3 men there are 5 women. What percentage of the people on the cruise are... Oh, they never told us it was a cruise. Okay, it's a cruise. What percentage of the people on the cruise are women? Right, let's take a look. Look at it carefully. I've got 5 lots of women out of 8 lots of people. 3 plus 5 is 8. And that is a fraction of women out of everybody. So 5 out of 8, multiply that by 100, And let's grab this machine. I think it's 62 or 67.5. Let's just do it anyway. So 5 divided by 8 equals, there it is, 62.5%. It's just something I'd learnt ages ago. So 62.5% are women. And that's it. I think I'll pause that and look at some of the other questions.